Welcome to Let's Talk About CRPS, a podcast brought to you by MTI directly from Italy. We will talk about the latest news and treatments, patients' experiences, and exclusive interviews of CRPS experts. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website crps-treatment.com. Let's take off! Hi everyone, welcome to this new episode of Let's Talk About CRPS. Today I'm going to be a bit more scientific than usual because I really wanted to talk about our 360-degree treatment plan and the studies behind it, to kind of give you an explanation on what is happening in this office, the work that is done behind everything that you see online, and just the work that the whole team puts every day to help as many patients as possible. So first of all, I really want to thank Tommaso, who's the internal researcher of MTI. He's allowing us to always be informed of, the latest news on CRPS, chronic pain, all the researches around the treatment. So thank you very much, Tommaso. Today, the episode is really dedicated to him because he's the one behind all of this research. CRPS. It's a severely debilitating pain syndrome characterized by sensory and vasomotor disturbance, edema, and functional disability. It often develops, like we mentioned in plenty of our podcasts by now, following a trauma or a surgery. Despite the development of the Budapest criteria, which is the criteria used to diagnose CRPS right now, the diagnosis of CRPS remains very challenging since the pathophysiology related to this syndrome is still unknown, and several etiological hypotheses are currently being researched regarding this. So the number of scientific studies published in the recent years are highlighting, however, how CRPS correlates with dysfunctions that are affecting different systems and apparatuses of the human body. We're talking nervous system, immune system, musculoskeletal system, gut microbiota, etc. So it is really touching a lot of different areas of the human body. For all of this reason, and given the elusive nature of CRPS, a multidisciplinary approach is strongly recommended for the treatment of the condition. Our treatment plan, the 360 degrees treatment plan, is based on the administration of a bisphosphonate that is called Neridronate, which has a large body of scientific literature behind it and has shown to significantly reduce clinical symptoms and pain in patients. Around the infusions of Neridronate, we have organized different appointments with different specialists, from the nutritionist who is focusing on the modification and the microbiota modulation, the physiotherapist, the health coach. All of the specialists are here to support the therapy with Neridronate, and all of this, of course, is also supported by our complementary therapies, the light therapy and the biophysical therapy. Our 360-degree treatment plan is a treatment plan thought to attack CRPS from all points. So Neridronate is at the center of all of it. It's now sided with clodronate, which has shown to improve the initial effects of Neridronate. We all know the importance of nutrition correlated to chronic pain, which is why we have implemented visits with a nutritionist. Your mobility and your muscles get highly affected with CRPS, in particular in cases that have been suffering for many months or many years. This is why you will be seeing the neuromuscular rehabilitation therapist and the health coach. We also know it's important to get deeper in your system to attack inflammation, increase microcirculation, accelerate your healing, promote cell activation, and help with the lymphatic system, which is why we have the light therapy and the biophysical therapy that get to work. Let's look into the research behind our treatment plans. Of course, there's hundreds of articles that you can find online, researches and studies on all of the components that make the 360-degree treatment plan. I have selected a very few just to give you an input into our world and the reason why we have selected this component for the treatment plan. So Neridronate. Of course, we've all read the initial study by Silvano Adami, the rheumatologist, from 2013, in which 82 patients were administered Neridronate, and the results were studied over a year. The results, and I quote, "A year later, none of the patients was referring symptoms linked to CRPS." The conclusion in that study states, and again I quote, "At appropriate doses, this is the treatment of choice for CRPS." Now, a recent study was conducted in 2023, so last year, and that's a study on the long-term effectiveness of Neridronate. This study was looked over by Dr. Adami's son, Giovanni, who also became a rheumatologist. The conclusion, I will read it directly. In this real-life study, Neridronate was associated with rapid and progressive improvements of symptoms of CRPS, which were all maintained up to 3 years of follow-up. So this study, the recent one from last year, is really here to show us the treatment with Neridronate not only is, like mentioned in the first study, the treatment of choice for CRPS, but it is a lasting treatment for CRPS. Now let's dive in the connection between nutrition and CRPS, and in general, chronic pain. In 2023, a study called "Establishing a Relationship Between Bacteria in the Human Gut and Complex Regional Pain Syndrome." In this study, the authors studied a total of 32 subjects in a research that conclusively showed how the gut microbiota plays a key function in both the onset and the persistence of CRPS symptoms. Another study called "Microbiota Accessible Boron Containing Compounds in Complex Regional Pain Syndrome" by Cristina Elena Bita states in its conclusion, "The relationship between the gut microbiome and the neuropathic pain in CRPS reveals a fascinating and potentially pivotal aspect of this debilitating condition." This shows once again the importance of nutrition and its connection to chronic pain, and in this specific case, CRPS. What you eat, the way you eat, will have an impact on the persistence of the symptoms of your CRPS. This is highly important, which is why the sessions that you will have with the nutritionist here in Italy will really help to fight the inflammation really from within, from your insides, really from your stomach. Now let's go on physical therapy. Neuromuscular rehabilitation, which you will do with a physical therapist, and the sessions with the health coach. A study published in 2004 called "The Value of Interdisciplinary Pain Management in Complex Regional Pain Syndrome" says, in summary, this study found that an intensive approach to CRPS, combining physical and occupational therapy, and aided by interventional and medical treatment, of course, produces significant and persistent improvement in function. Now, this is really important. We daily see patients that have been fighting CRPS for, again, months or a year. The muscle atrophy, the mobility range is really affected by CRPS, which is why physical therapy is a very important part of the multidisciplinary approach for CRPS. Another study in 2023 by Professor Al-Zaheri, a professor at the College of Pharmacy, states physical therapy is an important treatment modality for CRPS. It reduces pain, improves joints mobility, and promotes functional independence. Now, diving deeper in the complementary therapies that we propose, we do propose 2 complementary therapies that we usually install in the patient's hotel room. One of them is the light therapy. Light therapy reproduces the light of the sun without the X-rays that are hurting for the human body. Now, research was published in 2019 in the Annals of Physical and Rehabilitation Medicine by Mirjana Slatovic-Svenda at the Institute of Rheumatology, University of Belgrade School of Medicine. They conducted a study on a total of 52 patients who had developed CRPS. The conclusion states, polychromatic light therapy combined with conventional therapy appears to be a better choice and treatment option for pain control improvement and a range of motion achievement. It also significantly reduces CRPS occurrence. Now, the biophysical therapy. Magnetic waves, a machine will be placed under your mattress. And a study in 2017 called Bioelectromagnetic Energy Regulation for the Treatment of Complex Regional Pain Syndrome by Maria Grazia Benedetti demonstrated how a group of CRPS patients treated with biophysical therapy and physical therapy achieved significantly better benefits than the control group that only used the physical therapy and did not use the biophysical therapy. Now, a multidisciplinary approach is definitely the best approach for CRPS. We have seen that in the researches that our internal researcher Tommaso has given us today, but of course, the initial research, which was done by the medical team that we work with, as well as the Italian Society of Medicine, gave birth to the 360-degree treatment plan. Just making sure that we're always on top of the latest news, the latest treatment, the latest advancements in CRPS and its treatment is how we really manage to stay on top of everything that is happening today in the world for CRPS patients. Thank you for listening to this podcast with me today. It was a bit more scientific than what we used to, but I think it's important sometimes to also dive deep into why we do what we do, why we do it the way we do it, and why it has shown amazing results in the patients that we followed over the years. So thank you so much. We'll see you on the next episode of Let's Talk About CRPS. And if you have any other questions on the treatment, of course, don't hesitate to contact anyone from the team. You can contact us on all the social medias or online on our website. Bye-bye.